Good evening, everyone. Today is the last day of Era7 World Cup Tournament Season 2, last day of group stage. Today there's gonna be two games, and that will decide whether who can make it out of the group stage and advance into the knockout stage. And before we start our games today, let's thank our sponsors first, as usual. And today we actually have a new sponsor. So today we're gonna thank BNB Chain, Spirit Master, Biosine, and Izumi Finance for sponsoring today's live streaming. And yes, Spirit Master is our new sponsor. So let's get right into the games. Hello, Uranus. You're here perfectly on time again. It's the classic Rocket Money. Let's start with Rocket Money's games. This looks like um this is probably, yeah, this account, it looks like the piggy deck, the portrait deck, but somehow he's running out of the cards, and is I think Agent is looking pretty good right now. Still has this 8 mana demon in his hand. It's also level 5, ready to be played. And for everyone that haven't noticed, the game actually had an update earlier today, and that makes the game look slightly different. Oh, okay. Classic disconnection. Alright. Let's just go back to the live games. Yeah, so there is new, I think, minus HP animation and new healing animation. So it actually just happened, but if it happens again, you can see the new animations, or we can focus on the animations. All right, let's see. Evil Flame is being burned. Is a I don't know. I don't know if this is a good play or not. Yeah, so as you can see, the avatar of the character actually turns all red when damage is being dealt. So that's the new animation that just got updated today. And since there are piggies that are summoned, we can probably see the healing animation as well. Just wait for the demon to attack. Yes, as you can see, there's a green ball that flies from the piggy to the avatar and turns the avatar to all green. That's the new animation update. And it looks like AJ cannot go through the unlimited piggy wall, even though his creatures has very high attack and HP. But all of that is just being blocked by the piggy. Right, that's a 1-0 from Rockin' Money. You have to already finish. Oh, never mind, it's absent. This is absent too. It's a 3.2k absent. I think this guy is always absent. Oh, see, 9, 9, 10. So looks like Agent and Pro NFT are gonna fight for the number 2. If nothing goes wrong, Rocket Money is gonna make it out of the group stage. Yeah. eh, well, I think this is definitely not the only lucky group, but um since this is group one, so I don't really expect group number one to be a lucky group. But obviously, we just saw that group one is indeed a lucky group, so it's quite interesting, I would say. All right, the Infernal Swordsman looks like okay. I was just gonna say it's going to die without dealing any damage or without doing anything. But the Warsaw is blocking damage for Swordsman, but both of them gets taken down by the I think that's level 5. 6 damage. Yeah, being taken down by the level 5 Magic Storm. But Agent played his Gluttony in the mid row, so it avoided the Magic Storm damage. Otherwise, it would be 2-1 by now instead of 2-7. Actually, no. If it didn't take the 5 damage, then it would actually be 12 minus 6, so it would be 2-6 at the top. Okay, the elephant's damage is not enough to take down the bat, but given that AJ has only 2 cards in his hand, and we can see one of them is Scorch Demon, I think there's not much AJ can do to protect this Gluttony. So, and AJ is running the Abyss Demon, which only has 1 HP, and that is not a very good card to fight against the Portrait. Alright. We can probably see the victory of Rocket Money, but the game's still not finished yet. So let's see. Okay, never mind, it's finished. Alright, Rocket Money. That's 12 points here. And there's one more game is AJ into Pro NFT. And let's see, Pro NFT has 2-0. So AJ and Pro NFT, only one of them can make it out of group stage. And it's gonna be a next game. And Rocket Money is safe. Alright. And we can say congratulations to Rocket Money already. Okay. Another life. 88 days won the first game. See the second game. Okay. Already very late into the game. There is a level 1 Empire Vampire and a level 2 Ghost Boy. The level 3 Caroline. We do see there's a lot of late game cards being run in Glauco's Academy Pirate deck. And 88 days is running Empire Pirate deck. Even though I think this deck should be an aggro deck, it seems to be a control deck right now. Layla is being played in the mid row, kind of without a choice. Oh, yeah, because the top row is being filled up, so Layla can only be placed mid and bot, but given that Glauco is probably not going to just pass his turn without playing any cards, so Layla is probably gonna die, whether it's played mid or bot row. So 88 Days played his Holy Punishment to make sure Layla survived. Was a level 4 Holy Punishment. Alright, So Glauco knew 88 Days got Layla's Fireball in his hand, even though 88 Days burned one of Layla's Fireball to play his level, let's see, level 4 Falling Star, not level 5. A lot of level 4. I don't know if any one of you seen that, but it's very rare to see Fortification actually attacking. Fortification's attack animation, I would say it's quite rare to see. So if you guys didn't see that, maybe check out the replay of this game. Okay, everything is looking quite good for 88 Days now because of his Layla. Layla's Fireball doing all the work. Carry 88 Days. And that's a 2-0 for 88 Days. And this team, we also see Rocket Money's second account. And doing pretty well. Not 12 points, but 10 points is looking good. Next game is gonna be Rocket Money versus 88 Days. And 88 Days is 7 points, so if he wins Rocket Money without losing any game, both of them gonna be 10 points, and that's quite interesting. It's an intense group. Alright, let's see. This one looks interesting too. Okay, never mind. 1k bell power difference. Not so interesting. Alright, into a last game for both the Chinese dude and Wang. Let's see. It's Frozen Academy versus Infernal Rough Rock. Sadly, the Bloody Ghost is being silenced, so no cards will be discarded. So Wang has 2 cards instead of 1 if Bloody Ghost wasn't silenced. And we can see a level 2 Earthshaker. So Earthshaker is being played for sure. But there is no action from Earthshaker the first turn. So next turn Wang needs to be summoning a creature, and he got it. He got a creature. It stops 1 attack from the Earthshaker. And that's enough damage. If the Earthshaker is higher level, if the Earthshaker has at least 23 attack, that was already a win. But sadly, it's a low level Earthshaker, so gotta blame the level. Alright. 𝙂𝙖𝙢𝙚 won the first game versus 𝙂𝙧𝙪𝙩𝙪𝙗. This is a 7-tag Deathless Spirit, so it's been on this ice field for 4 rounds already. Okay. And the Ice Age is being played, and the Deathless Spirit spawned right in front of the big angel Lena, and that clears the board for 𝙂𝙖𝙢𝙪𝙗. Alright, and 𝙂𝙖𝙢𝙪𝙗 still has 3 cards, while 𝙂𝙧𝙪𝙗 only has 2. And let's see. Templar Knight runs into 30 HP Ice Mountain. So top row is a big problem for 𝙂𝙧𝙪𝙗 right now. But 𝙂𝙖𝙢𝙪𝙗 had a Winter Speller and Frozen Ion Soldier. So both of that are 2 mana cards. So 𝙂𝙖𝙢𝙗 didn't have very strong power cards in his hand. So I would say that's a bad news for 𝙂𝙧𝙪𝙩 because 𝙂𝙧𝙪𝙩 really need those late game ice cards to help him win the game here, such as the Siege Beast or the Ice Dragon or even the Winter God. Okay, so another Ice Age is being played. It's level 5, so no damage is dealt to 𝙂𝙧𝙪𝙩. But sadly, 𝙂𝙧𝙪𝙩 kept throwing all these low battle power cards. And Drew Bloke draw a Crimson Lord. It's level 3, and that is good enough to win the game for him. It looks like 𝙂𝙧𝙪𝙩 is running a lot of low mana cards from the Frozen race, maybe to sustain the bell power of his early game, but that seems to be causing a big problem for him, especially during the late games. So let's see if his deck can deal with the late game problem in the last game, or if he can finish the game in the early game. I think if the life is not coming out right away, that means both of them are prepping, and maybe one of them changed the deck. Okay, maybe no. The bell tower, yeah, the bell power looks the same, so maybe they just chilling before the last game. Make sure their mental are strong. Woke early this morning, but no opponent showing. Well, I wouldn't say that's bad. Yeah, I wouldn't say that's bad. Because if you think about it, that's better than you work out early in the morning and then lose the game, right? At least you won the game. Okay. So the Ice Priest is doing a very good job by lowering 1/1 of the, let's see, level 4 Face Breaker. So the Face Breaker is unfortunately not level 5 for Drew Bloke, and it also got nerfed by the Ice Priest, and that made him exactly 4/4 to be taken down by the Ice Conversion Corp. But for Drew Bloke, both Warsaw and the Centurion are these two creatures are high armor creatures, so they have low attack, and given that they are mainly used for blocking damage, but you would still want them to deal damage instead of purely blocking damage. So standing on the ice field is not a very good news for Drew Bloke, even though they are still doing their job, which is blocking damage. And this time we can see 𝙂𝙧𝙪𝙩 does running, yeah, does have an Ice Feast, a level 5 Ice Feast. And that is for sure a late game ice card. So late game ice cards are being run by 𝙂𝙧𝙪𝙩, but this is actually the first late game ice card I've seen from 𝙂𝙧𝙪𝙩. So I hope this is not the only one because he is gonna need more than just one Ice Beast to win the game. I still get points though. Second opponent will not show also cause he has not shown since the group phase beginning. Sweet! That sounds sweet! That's like 2 free wins. Alright, 𝙂𝙧𝙪𝙩𝙪 drew 3 cards, so a lot of cards. 10 right now. And we do know 𝙂𝙧𝙪𝙩𝙪 is running 2 Ice Ages. So one was used, but if the deck wasn't changed, then I'm quite sure there's another one in the deck if it wasn't burned earlier in the game. So I would assume there is still one more Ice Age in 𝙂𝙧𝙪𝙩's either hand or deck. And I believe 𝙂𝙧𝙪 also knows that. Okay, there's the second Ice Age I'm talking about. Alright, both Ice Age has been played. So if 𝙂𝙧𝙪𝙩 is not running a third one, then there's no more Ice Age. But 𝙂𝙧𝙪 only has one card left. And that's not the level 3 Barrock. It's a level 5 Skullbreaker, sadly. And that's not gonna help him win the game here. Alright, that's an FF from 𝙂𝙧𝙪. Congrats to 𝙂𝙧𝙪 for winning this game. And that is an important game for 𝙂𝙧𝙪. It made him 9 points now, while the third place is only at 6 points. So the next game, 𝙂𝙧𝙪 is versus again 𝙂𝙬𝙀. 𝙂𝙬𝙀 seems to be absent today. So maybe that game made sure 𝙂𝙧𝙪 can make it out of the group stage. Is 𝙂𝙬𝙀 is for sure absent today, then that's gonna make Eva 12 points. And that's good enough for the group stage. Let's see. Any live games going on? Maybe we are gonna need to go into the group 20s. Yep, the group 20s. Or maybe even the 30s. Okay. Everyone is playing their game very quickly. Alright, 30s, here we go. Okay. Looks very balanced. Besides the avatar difference. Somehow both of them have full spell power, but Rikus is only using a rare avatar, while GMTK4 is running a legendary one. And his Temple Priest is looking quite legendary as well. It has triple strike, hexproof, and that is just too strong of a Temple Priest for Rikus. Alright, that's 1-1 for both of them. So this is a game of if Rikus can deal with GMTK's Temple Priest. So Rikus is running Zen and Rough-Rock. That is, I would say, not too bad. Rough-Rock does have a lot of strong early game creatures. Maybe not as strong as the Infernal race, but mostly not bad. So the Burn Badger is at 4-5 body right now. So that is pretty good for the mid row, I would say. So if Rickus is looking for an instant kill of the Tempo Priest, gonna play top or mid. I mean top or bot. So he decided to play top. And GMTK played level 4. Whip. Well, even if it was level 5, it doesn't really matter because Rika's actually position is Behemoth Hunter very well. Then place it adjacent to the Burrowing Badger, so there's no way it can be swept back with the Burrowing Badger by the 2-mana sweep. And a level 2 Pixie is being played here with Yin Yang Seal from both sides, but Yin Yang Seal on Pixie is definitely stronger than on the Pangolin. So see how this goes. And GMTK played a really nice Ice AoE here. And that made the Burn Badger 0 attack right now. So Burn Badger cannot move by itself without any healing buff at the moment. So let's see. And besides that, there's a bigger problem, which is the Pixie with Yin Yang Seal. So I believe Rikus needs to try and deal with the Pixie right now. But we do know GMTK is running Hexproof because Tempo Priests don't have Hexproof naturally. So Rikus also need to deal with Hexproof. So I believe Rikus knew that, so he played 2 creatures at the bot row because that's the only way to deal with a Hexproof Pixie. Even though if Pixie is actually hexproof, would probably just kill both of that creatures, but I would say it's still a play. Even though it doesn't look like a winning play. Okay. So level 2 Tyrant is being played here. It deals 8 damage and there's a very good chance that the Tyrant can hit just any 2 of the creatures from GMTK and somehow it still hit Rika's very own creature. And I think Rika's might just FF here because his Tyrant just betrayed him. Yeah, and that's exactly what I thought. Is very sad to see because won the first game and then encounter a super buff Tempo Priest, triple strike, and then the Tyrant just betrayed him at the very last round. I think yeah, it was the last round. That's just too much for Rikus. Why is everyone finishing their game so quickly? Okay, group 40s. Okay, there's 2 lives. 500 difference, 1k difference, of course, the 500 one. Okay, a hexproof master ran, 14 attack, and a trample barrack. Well, barrack naturally has trample. The 13 attack. Barrack does summon 3 little skeletons, but since we don't see the skeletons, we can assume that it was already killed by whatever creatures that was survived. There's no way that the skeletons was killed by the Master Ran, because if both Master Ran and Barak was played at the same turn, then there's no way that Master Ran has hexproof. So Master Ran must be on the board for at this one turn. That way you play Mastery Rend and then you hexproof it. And level 3 Barrack is 11 attack, so it was probably play last turn. So it's Barrack into Lina the Angel. Okay. And the hexproof Mastery Rend is being taken down. And we do know the Barrack is being swept back by the Master in Seclusion, which is a questionable play, I would say. And if I am Mostric, I'm just gonna play Barrack again. And I don't know if it was intended or not, but Star kind of knew Mostric was going to play Barrack in the first row. So he swept the first row. But that's still not enough damage to kill Mostric. If Star has another clean sweep, then I think that's lethal. But it looks like there's not a second clean sweep. But Pixie does have trample, and the smuggler dealing 2 damage in, and Master in Seclusion gonna do the very last damage needed for Start. And congrats to Start for winning the game. Alright, let's see. Star was at 41, so okay. Pretty good for Odin here. Winning against the city player Embrace. Okay. This is 32 attack, huge flower on Odin's side. And there is a tree being played, and it's not being silenced, of course, because there's no academy race. So we can assume there's at least 1 HP fruit in Odin's hand. And I don't know how much this level 2 fruit heals, but I think at this 6 or 7. So we can assume Odin has 10 HP. At this 10. Let's see. I'll plus 7, so 11 HP. And Embrace trying to stop the flower's attack by playing the Earth Shaker. A level 3-1. And there is 4 damage at the bot row for Embrace. And Odin really tries to let the flower hit Embrace. So he plays the Wine Master in front of the Hoary Root. So ideally, the Wine Master can one-shot whatever is being played. And since it has double strike, it's gonna clear two space up. Okay, and Odin has that perfect combo, which is clean sweep into uh basically one-shot flower, and that's gonna one-shot the Embrace. And that's a 2-0 by Odin against the city player Embrace. And both Odin and Panzer are at 12 points right now. So that was the only game that Embrace had a chance to catch up with Odin's points. And it seems like Embrace failed. So Odin and Panthera are gonna make it out of the group 42. Because there's only one more game left, and it's gonna be Odin and Panthera. But no matter which of them won, it's just gonna be 15 and 12 points. And no one's gonna be able to catch up. Alright, so congrats to Panthera and Odin for making it out of the group stage. Okay, this is a little bit weird. I don't know how do you like just absent one game. I thought if you are absent, it's an instant 2-0, but I think Magically is telling me that's not the case by actually doing it. And Well, this looks like Magic League is playing against himself, so we'll just pass this. Or actually, maybe we can just check it out for a little bit. Let's see how Magic League plays against himself. Okay. So, yep, Magic League literally just passed and didn't play anything. So, actually playing against himself. Actually, let me see the rankings. Sadly, Magic League cannot make both of his account out of the group stage here because of Santos Brett, and that's a little bit sad, but at least one account can make it out of the group stage. And let's see. Alright, there's not much groups left, and there's one live going on. The bell power difference is slightly too big. Interesting. Arctic somehow won when the battle power difference is a little bit high, and he changed into an even lower bell power deck. Bloody face breaker with crazy priest. This is like 10 attack. And since this turn is round 4, so 10 attack was already being placed on the field during turn 3. That is, I would say, pretty aggro. But it's Inferno and Rough Rock since it has Inferno, so it's not very surprising that the deck is being pretty aggro. Arctic Space only has one card in his hand, which is Reinforced Frontline, and all these little guys are just not gonna be able to stop the attack from the bottom row. And the X-Hetman has Trample naturally, and it also gives Trample to an adjacent ally, which is the Crazy Priest here. And that makes all 3 of the creatures have Trample right now. And Skull Breaker and Face Breaker are being played at the top row, and both of them have Trample naturally. So that's 5 Trample creatures. And Arctic Space only has 2 cards. It's really hard for him to deal with 5 Trample creatures. Okay. So Arctic Space does draw into a very strong card, which is Lena the Angel. And that made him survive the turn that I would say pretty much lethal. And he draws into Portrait. But sadly, Arctic's HP is not high enough for him to run the unlimited Portrait. And I think that's enough damage. So sadly, Arctic could not win the game against the legendary Avatar. Even though he actually won the first game. And after he lost the second game, he changed his deck. But both of the deck didn't work against the legendary Avatar. So let's see the rankings. And PSI has 10 points here. So it's looking good, but number 2 and number 3 still has a good chance to win against PSI in terms of the group stage points. So Can't say congratulations for group 52 yet. And see more. Oh, it, Maxula is it ended. Maxula didn't make it. Well, Maxula at this one game when there is a 1.2k bell power difference. So sad to see Maxula only has 2 points. Right, it was 57, so 8, 59, 60, 2, 3. Oh, here we go. Last game. Frango NFT into Hugo Boss. And it's 1-1 for both of them. And both of them are running the Zen Valley. So it's a match between Frozen and Empire. Which one better suits Zen Valley? So Hugo Boss passed his very first turn, while Franco NFT burned his bamboo forest to play reinforced front line into a level 4 Deer Sage. But we do saw level 4 Hymn of Light being burned by Franco NFT here, so maybe Franco NFT has another one, or he doesn't need it. And it looks like he doesn't need it. And Hugo Boss' last hope is to buff up the Tempo Priest here. And we do know Franco NFT is playing the Zoo deck, so there's probably a lot of buff cards being run in his deck. And yes, Hymn of Light, as we can see. Okay. So the Long Year Girl made Tempo Priest 5 attack and last enough to take down the Caroline, and the Deer Sage was being swept back by the 2 mana sweep. But the Small Village dudes are 6 attack right now after being buffed by Deer Sage and Hymn of Light. And that might be enough to take down Hugo Boss before the Temple Priest is too big of a problem to be dealt with. And that is exactly what happened. So congratulations to Frango NFT for winning the game. That makes him 12 points. And Hugo Boss is actually the number 3 dude. So that is a little bit sad to see, because even if Hugo Boss wins his next game, it's only gonna make him 11 points. So Frango NFT is guaranteed to make it out of the last group here. So group 64, we can say congratulations to Frango NFT already. And I remember it's 57, yes. Lockzilla's game looks very interesting. So I'm gonna come back and check it out. 2.3k bell power against a city player's 3.5k bell power deck. Okay, cards level are not too bad. 3, 4, 4, 5, and this is 4, 4, 5, 5. Logistician, portrait, field defense. So this looks pretty control. I would say actually super control, because before field defense got nerfed, field defense could actually heal the player. So if it was before the nerf, this is heal, this is heal, this is heal, this is also heal. So it's super heal. And Moxzilla is running. All 3 of these cards are aggro. And yeah, just not the slime. But the slime is pretty good against aggro. So This deck is pretty good for playing against aggro deck as well, because both of them are aggro, but Moxula is running the slime, and that's gonna make a huge difference when it's both aggro deck playing against each other. In this turn 2, God placed the Smuggler, and Moxula played the level 3 𝙂𝙖𝙢𝙪𝙩𝙝 that discarded one card for God, and there's no portrait for God. But I believe God doesn't just run one portrait, so there's probably one more, if not two more, in his deck. And Moxula surprised God with his level 4 slime, I think. Yeah, level 4 slime. And that's gonna spawn one more slime. And that slime is gonna perfectly protect the Faceless Butcher. Alright, and it's exactly 5 mana for Moxula, so level 1 Devouring Grudge is gonna be played. And God could play Field Defense, but God decided to play the Happy Space. So the top slime is being taken down, but not the mid, so the mid is gonna spawn a new slime. Okay, Moxula wants to stop damage from bot row, but that level 4 Bloody Wood is gonna be taken down by the Small Angel. So the Angel's gonna heal up for the God, and that combos with Happy Space. So it draws one card for God, and there's one more Imperial Logistician for God. But Moxula is running the late game Academic card. It was in his hand a few turns ago. And the slime successfully blocked the angel's attack. And that also stops the healing from the angel. So God couldn't draw one more card. But God did run Holy Punishment and actually got it. But it looks like it does look like God is being able to maintain the board here, make a comeback. But Moxula got the emptiness. Oh. Oh, and got surrendered because both of these cards are both Field Defense and Hymn of Light are not going to summon anything on the top row right away, so that can stop Moxula's top row damage. So that's an FF from God. This is actually a very good game. It's group 57. I would say well played. Very well played. And let's see. Let's see. See any. Actually, I am gonna go check out Jimmy's game. He pretty sad. Okay. It looks like Jimmy is, I think, AFK. AFK. Maybe it's not a very good time in Jimmy's country, so Jimmy could not wake up. That's absent for Jimmy. That's a little bit sad. Wow. 4K bell power and still lost the game. That is pretty sad. Well, let's see today's game first. Let's see. Running the classic Inferno cards, which discard cards for the opponent. It discards Evil Eyes discards one card, and the Bloody Ghost discard one card every turn in the end. So, um, let's see. Phoenix needs to try and deal with the Bloody Ghost ASAP. Otherwise, all his cards are gonna be discarded away. And that looks exactly like the plan of this Chinese dude. So I would say this game is very savage. It was a very brutal, not very pleasant to watch the process of the game. It was very brutal. Maybe the second game is gonna look slightly better, but okay. So there's no Evil Eyes. Turn 2. It's already not as savage as the last game, but a level 5 Warsaw is being played onto the board. That is very hard to deal with, especially when Phoenix is running a lot of buff cards and Pitch Festival. So there's no cards to deal with the Bloody Ghost. And since there's no card to deal with the Bloody Ghost and the Bloody Ghost is being played, it just looks like the game's gonna finish very quickly here. And yes, that is the case here. But even if a deck that looks so unbeatable like this can still lose a game. So let's see how game is being loosed. So it looks like the Heritage Lane deck. So there is no Evil Eyes. Pitch Festival is being played instead of the Evil Eyes here. So the Long Ear Girl is being able to survive here. And the Frozen side still wants to draw more cards instead of playing the Lin. Maybe it's because he already knew Inferno is gonna play the Mastering Seclusion, which means the Long Ear Girl is gonna be swept back, and then that Mastering Seclusion can just kill Lin. So he combos Long Ear Girl with Lin this turn, and that actually made a huge difference. Lin actually is able to get the heritage from Long Ear Girl, even if Inferno Butcher wasn't played last turn. Okay, so the classic Bloody Ghost is being played here. That's gonna discard one card, which is gonna be Yin Seal. For anyone that doesn't know, uh, discarding mechanic is always discarding the most left hand side card. So if you know the opponent is going to play something that discard your card, and you don't want the card to be discarded, when the card is on your left hand side, then you need to play that card first. Unless the card is on your right hand side, then you can keep the card because there's no way that that card is going to be discarded. This card mechanic is always starting from the left. So that's a triple strike link with 6 attack. A clean sweep to sweep the Pixie back. And the Deer Sage being played in the front kills the Infernal Butcher. That draws 1 card. And another Infernal Butcher being killed. That's another heritage being drawn. And it's the 0 cost Baby Bear. There's only 1 0 cost Baby Bear for everyone right now. So this Baby Bear is kind of like a legendary card as well. But it looks like it's going to be swept back. And that is enough damage. Finish the game. Alright. That looks... I would say that looks like what a classic Lin deck looks like. And there's one more game, which Inferno changed his deck. I think the bell power is lowered by 200, but maybe it's a better deck to deal with heritage deck like Lin deck. For now, it looks like Skullbreaker is being run, and that is very good against heritage combos such as Baby Bear into Lin, or Long Ear Girl into Lin, or Fortune Teller into Lin. So Skullbreaker is for sure a very good 2-mana card that can deal with the heritage combo. And the Crimson Warrior and the Demon Token, both of these cards are straight up damage. Well, not straight up damage like spell cards, but they do deal damage whenever the skeletons are killed. And that Demon Token almost killed Inferno itself because of the recoil. So Pixie is being played here, try to heal some HP, but the General is being played at the bot row to strike first before Pixie can even move, and that's enough damage to take down the Inferno. Alright. But it looks like both of them can make it out of the group stage. So I would say nothing changes. It's looking good for both of them. And yep, that will be it for today's stream. And before we end our stream today, let's thank our sponsors again. And that will be BNB Chain, Spirit Master, Bilsin, and Zumi Finance. And again, Spirit Master is our new sponsor that just got added today. So maybe we can get more sponsors in the future. But for now, the only new sponsor is Spirit Master. So I hope everyone that's watching knows that we got a new sponsor. Era7 is doing pretty well right now. And that's it for today. And the next game is going to be the knockout stage, which is I think on the 21st. So that's gonna be 3 days later. So we'll see you guys 3 days later. Alright, and goodbye. Have a good night.